Hello everyone, let's try to revise the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita 2023 Index. Section 1 Short Title Commencement and Application. Section 2 Definitions. In this definition of subsection subsection 1 Egg, subsection 2 Animal, subsection 3 Child, subsection 4 Counterfeit, subsection 5 Code, subsection 6 Death, subsection 7 Dishonestly, subsection 8 Document, subsection 9 fraudulently, subsection 10 gender, subsection 11 good faith, subsection 12 government, subsection 13 harbor, subsection 14 injury, subsection 15 illegal and legally bound to do, subsection 16 judge, subsection 17 life, subsection 18 local law, subsection 19 men, subsection 20 month and year, subsection 21 movable property, subsection 22 number, subsection 23 oath, subsection 24 offense, subsection 25 omission, subsection 26 person, subsection 27 public, subsection 28 public servant, subsection 29 reason to believe, subsection 30 special law, subsection 31 valuable security, subsection 32 vessel, subsection 33 voluntarily, subsection 34 will, subsection 35 women, subsection 36 wrongful gain, subsection 37 wrongful loss, subsection 38 gaining wrongfully and losing wrongfully, subsection 39 words and expression used but not defined in this Sahita. Then section 3 general explanation. Section 4 punishments. In this we have clause A death, clause B imprisonment for life, clause C imprisonment which is of two description, namely first rigorous and second simple, clause D forfeiture of property, clause E fine, clause F community service, clause 5 sorry section 5 commutation of sentence, section 6 fraction of terms of punishment, section 7 sentence may be in certain case of imprisonment wholly or partly rigorous or simple, section 8 amount of fine liability in default of payment of fine, etc. Section 9 limit of punishment of offense made up of several offenses, section 10 punishment of person guilty of one of several offenses, judgment stating that it is doubtful of which, section 11 solitary confinement, section 12 limit of solitary confinement, section 13 enhanced punishment for certain offenses after previous conviction, section 14 act done by a person bound or by mistake of fact believing himself bound by law, section 15 act of judge when acting judicially, section 16 act done pursuant to judgment or order of court, section 17 act done by a person justified or by mistake of fact believing himself justified by law, section 18 accident in doing a lawful act, section 19 act likely to cause harm but done without criminal intent and to prevent other harm, section 20 act of a child under 7 years of age, section 21 act of a child above 7 and under 12 years of age of immature understanding, section 22 act of a person of unsound mind, section 23 act of a person incapable of judgment by reason of intoxication caused against his will, section 24 offense requiring a particular intent or knowledge committed by one who is intoxicated, section 25 act not intended and not known to be likely to cause death or grievous hurt done by consent, section 26 act not intended to cause death done by consent in good faith for person's benefit, section 27 act done in good faith for benefit of child or person of unsound mind by or by consent of guardian, section 28 consent known to be given under fear or misconception, section 29 exclusion of acts which are offenses independently of harm cause, Section 30, act done in good faith for benefit of a person without consent. Section 31, communication made in good faith. Section 32, act to which a person is compelled by threat. Section 33, act causing slight harm. Section 34, things done in private defense. Section 35, right of private defense of body and of property. Section 36, right of private defense against act of person of unsound mind, etc. Section 37, acts against which there is no right of private defense. Section 38, when right of private defense of body extend to causing death. Section 39, when such rights extend to causing any harm other than death. Section 40, commencement and continuance of right of private defense of body. Section 41, when right of private defense of defense of property extend to causing death. Section 42, when such rights extend to causing any harm other than death. Section 43, commencement and continuance of right of private defense of property. Section 44, right of private defense of right of private defense against deadly assault when there is risk of harm to innocent person. Section 45, abatement of a thing. Section 46, abater. Section 47, abatement in India of offences outside India. Section 48, abatement outside India for offences in India. Section 49, punishment of abatement if act abated is committed in consequences and where no express provision is made for its punishment. Section 50, punishment of abatement if person abated does act with different intention from that of abater. Section 51, liability of abater when one act abated and different act done. Section 52, abater when liable to cumulative punishment for act abated and for act done. Section 53, liability of abater for an effect caused by act abated different from that intended by abater. Section 54, abater present when offense is committed. Section 55, abatement of offense punishable with death or imprisonment for life. Section 56, abatement of offense punishable with imprisonment. Section 57, abating commission of offense by public or by more than 10 persons. Section 58, concealing design to commit offense punishable with death or imprisonment for life. Section 59, public servant concealing design to commit offense which it is which it is his duty to prevent. Section 60 concealing design to commit offense punishable with imprisonment. Section 61, criminal conspiracy. Section 62, punishment for attempting to commit offences punishable with imprisonment for life or other imprisonment. Section 63, rape. Section 64, punishment for rape. Section 65, punishment for rape in certain cases. Section 66, punishment for causing death or resulting in persistent vegetative state of victim. Section 67, sexual intercourse by husband upon his wife during separation. Section 68, sexual intercourse by a person in authority. Section 69, sexual intercourse by employing deceitful means, etc. Section 70, gang rape. Section 71, punishment for repeat offender. Section 72, disclosure of identity of victim of certain offences, etc. Section 73, printing or publishing any matter relating to court proceedings without permission. Section 74, assault or use of criminal force to women with intent to outrage her modesty. Section 75, sexual harassment. Section 76, assault or use of criminal force to women with intent to disrobe. Section 77, voyeurism. Section 78, stalking. 79, word, gesture or act intended to insult modesty of a woman. Section 80, dowry death. Section 81, cohabitation caused by man deceitfully inducing belief of lawful marriage. Section 82, marrying again during lifetime of husband or wife. Section 83, marriage ceremony fraudulently gone through without lawful marriage. Section 84, anti-seeing or taking away or detaining with a criminal intent a married woman. Section 85, husband or relative of husband of a husband or relative of husband of a woman subjecting her to cruelty. Section 86, cruelty defined. Section 87, kidnapping, abducting, or inducing women to compel her marriage, etc. Section 88, causing miscarriage. Section 89, causing miscarriage without woman's consent. Section 90, death caused by act done with intent to cause miscarriage. Section 91, Act done with intent to act done with intent to prevent child being born alive or to cause to die after birth. Section 92, causing death of quick unborn child by act amounting to culpable homicide. Section 93, exposure and abandonment of child under 12 years of age by parent or person having care of it. Section 94, concealment of birth by secret disposal of dead body. Section 95, hiring, employing, or engaging a child to commit an offense. Section 96, procuration of child. Section 97, kidnapping or abducting child under 10 years of age with intent to steal from its person. Section 98, selling child for purposes of prostitution, etc. Section 99, buying child for purposes of prostitution, etc. Section 100, culpable homicide. Section 101, murder. Section 102, culpable homicide by causing death of person other than person whose death was intended. Section 103, punishment for murder. Section 104, punishment for murder by life convict. Section 105, punishment for culpable homicide not amounting to murder. Section 106, causing death by negligence. Section 107, abatement of suicide of child or person of unsound mind. Section 108, abatement of suicide. Section 109, attempt to murder. Section 110, attempt to commit culpable homicide. Section 111, organized crime. Section 112, section 112, petty organized crime. Section 113, terrorist act. Section 114, section 114, hurt. Section 115, voluntarily causing hurt. Section 116, grievous hurt. Section 117, voluntarily causing grievous hurt. Section 118, voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt by dangerous weapon or means. Section 119, voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt to extort property or to constrain to an illegal act. Section 120, voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt to extort confession or to compel restoration of property. Section 121, voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt to deter public servant from his duty. Section 122, voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt on provocation. Section 123, causing hurt by means of poison, etc., with intent to commit an offense. Section 124, voluntarily causing grievous hurt by use of acid, etc. Section 125, act endangering life or personal safety of others. Section 126, wrongful restraint. Section 127, wrongful confinement. Section 128, force. Section 129, criminal force. Section 130, assault. Section 131, punishment for assault or criminal force otherwise than on grave provocation. Section 132, assault or criminal force to deter public servant from discharge of his duty. Section 133, assault or criminal force with intent to dishonor person otherwise than on grave provocation. Section 134, assault assault or criminal force in attempt to commit theft of property carried by a person. Section 135, assault or criminal force in attempt to wrongful confine a person. Section 136, assault or criminal force on grave provocation. Section 137, kidnapping. Section 138, abduction. Section 139, kidnapping or maiming a child for purposes of begging. Section 140, kidnapping or abducting in order to murder or for ransom, etc. Section 141, importation of girl or boy from foreign country. Section 142, wrongful concealing or keeping confinement kidnapped or abducted person. Section 143, trafficking of person. Section 144, exploitation of a trafficked person. Section 145, habitual dealing in slaves. Section 146, unlawful compulsory labor. Section 147, waging or attempting to wage war or abetting waging of war against government of India. Section 148, conspiracy to commit offences punishable by Section 147. Section 149, collecting arms, etc., with intention of waging war against government of India. Section 150, concealing with intent to facilitate design to wage war. Section 151, assaulting president or governor, etc., with intent to compel or restrain the exercise of any lawful power. Section 152, endangering sovereignty, unity, and integrity of India. Section 153, waging war against government of any foreign state of peace with government of India. Section 154, committing depredation on terrorists, depredation on terrorists of on terror on territories of foreign state at peace with government of India. Section 154, committing depredation on territories of foreign state at peace with government of India. Section 155, receiving property taken by war or depredation mentioned in section 153 and 154. Section 156, public servant voluntarily allowing prisoner of state or war to escape. Section 157, public servant negligently suffering such prisoner to escape. Section 158, aiding escape of, rescuing or harboring such prisoner. Section 159, abetting mutiny or attempting to seduce a soldier, sailor, or airman from his duty. Section 160, abatement of mutiny if mutiny is committed in consequence thereof. Section 161, abatement of assault by soldier, sailor, or airman on his superior officer when in execution of his office. Section 162, abatement of such assault if assault committed. Section 163, abatement of desertion of soldier, sailor, or airman. Section 164, harboring deserter. Section 165, deserter concealed on board merchant vessel through negligence of master. Section 166, abatement of act of insubordination by soldier, sailor, or airman. Section 167, persons subject to certain acts. Section 168, wearing garb or carrying token used by soldier, sailor, or airman. Chapter 9 of offences relating to elections, Section 169, candidate electoral right defined. Section 170, bribery. Section 171, undue influence at elections. Section 120, Section 172, personation at elections. Section 173, punishment for bribery. Section 174, punishment for undue influence or personation at an election. Section 179, 175, false statement in connection with an election. Section 176, illegal payments in connection with an election. Section 177, failure to keep election accounts. Section 178, that is covered under Part 10 of offences relating to coin currency notes, bank notes, and government stamps. Section 178, counterfeiting coin, government stamps, currency notes, or bank notes. Section 179, using as genuine forged or counterfeit coin, government stamp, currency notes, or bank notes. Section 180, possession of forged or counterfeit coin, government stamp, currency notes, or bank notes. Section 181, making or possessing instruments or material for forging or counterfeiting coin, government stamp, currency notes, or banknotes. Section 182, making or using documents resembling currency notes or banknotes. Section 183, affecting writing from substance bearing government stamp or removing from document a stamp used for it with intent to cause loss to government. Section 184, using government stamp known to have been before use. Section 185, erasure of mark denoting that stamp has been used. Section 186, prohibition of fictitious stamp. Section 187, person employed in mint causing coin to be of different weight or composition from that fixed by law. Section 188, unlawfully taking coining instrument from mint. Section 189, unlawful assembly. Section 189, unlawful assembly. Section 190, every member of unlawful assembly guilty of offence committed in prosecution of a common object. Section 191, writing. Section 192, wantonly giving provocation with intent to cause riot if writing be committed if not committed. Section 193, liability of owner, occupier, etc. of land on which an unlawful assembly or right takes place. Section 194, affray. Section 195, assaulting or obstructing public servant when suppressing right, etc. Section 196, promoting enmity between different groups on grounds of religion, race, place of birth, residence, language, etc., and doing it prejudicial to maintenance of harmony. Section 197, imputations assertion prejudicial to national integration. Section 198, public servant disobeying law with intent to cause injury to any person. Section 199, public servant disobeying direction under law. Section 200, punishment for non-treatment of victims. Section 201, public servant framing an incorrect document with the intent to cause injury. Section 202, public servant unlawfully engaging in trade, section 203, public servant unlawfully buying or bidding for property, section 204, personating a public servant, section 205, wearing garb or carrying token used by a public servant with fraudulent intent, section 206, absconding to avoid service of summons or other proceedings, section 207, preventing service of summons or other proceeding or preventing publication thereof, section 208, non-attendance in obedience to an order from public servant, section 209, non-appearance in response to a proclamation under section 84 of Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita 2023, section 210, omission to produce document or electronic record to public servant by person legally bound to produce it, section 211, omission to give notice or information to public servant by person legally bound to give it, section 212, furnishing false information, section 213, refusing oath or affirmation when duly required by public servant to make it, section 215, section 214, refusing to answer public servant authorized to question, section 215, refusing to sign a statement, section 216, false statement on oath or affirmation to public servant or person or authorized to administer an oath or affirmation, section 217, false information with intent to cause public servant to use his lawful power to injury of another person, section 218, resistance to taking of property by lawful authority of a public servant, section 219, obstructing sale of property offered for sale by authority of public servant, section 220, illegal purchase or bid for property offered for sale by authority of public servant, section 221, obstructing public servant in discharge of public function, section 222, omission to assist public servant when bound by law to give assistance, section 223, disobedience to order duly promulgated by public servant, section 224, threat of injury to public servant, section 225, threat of injury to induce person to refrain from applying from protection to public servant, section 226, attempt to commit some suicide to compel or restrain exercise of lawful power, section 227, giving false evidence, section 228, fabricating false evidence, section 229, punishment for false evidence, section 230, giving or fabricating false evidence with intent to procure conviction of capital offense, section 231, giving or fabricating false evidence with intent to procure conviction of offense punishable with imprisonment for life or imprisonment, section 232, threatening any person to give false evidence, section 233, using evidence known to be false, section 234, issuing or signing false certificate, section 235, using as true a certificate known to be false, section 236, false statement made in declaration which is by law receivable as evidence, section 237, using as true such declaration knowing it to be false, section 238, causing disappearance of evidence of offense or giving false information to screen offender, section 239, intentional omission to give information of offense by a person bound to inform, section 240, giving false information respecting an offense committed, section 241, destruction of document or electronic record to prevent its production as evidence, section 242, false personation for purpose false personation for purpose of act or proceeding in suit or prosecution, section 243, fraudulent removal or concealment of property to prevent its seizure as forfeited or in execution, section 244, fraudulent claim in property to prevent its seizure as forfeited or in execution, section 245, fraudulent suffering decree for sum not due, section 246, dishonestly making false claim in court, section 247, fraudulently obtaining decree for sum not due, section 248, false charge of offense made with intent to injure, section 249, harboring offender, section 250, taking gift etc to screen an offender from punishment, section 251, offering gift or restoration of property in consideration of screening offender, section 252, taking gift to help to recover stolen property etc, section 253, harboring offender who has escaped from custody or whose apprehension has been ordered, section 254. Penalty for harboring robbers or decades, section 255. Public servant disobeying direction of law with intent to save person from punishment or property from forfeiture, section 256. Public servant framing incorrect record or writing with intent to save person from punishment or property from forfeiture, section 257. Commitment for trial or confinement by person having authority who knows that he is acting contrary to law, section 259. Intentional omission to apprehend on part of public servant bound to apprehend, section 260. Intentional omission to apprehend on part of public servant bound to apprehend person under sentence or lawfully committed, section 260. Intentional omission to apprehend on part of public servant bound to apprehend person under sentence or lawfully committed, section 261. Escape from confinement or custody negligently suffered by public servant, section 262. Resistance or obstruction by a person to his lawful apprehension, section 263. Resistance or obstruction to lawful apprehension of another person, section 264. Omission to apprehend or sufferance of escape on part of public servant in cases not otherwise provided for, section 265. Resistance or obstruction to lawful apprehension or escape or rescue in cases not otherwise provided for, section 266. Violation of condition of remission of punishment, section 267. Intentional insult or interruption to public servant sitting in judicial proceedings, section 268. Personation of assessor, section 269. Failure by person released on bail bond or bond to appear in court, section section next part is, we have already skipped a lot of parts. Chapter name of the title, name of the chapters. Chapter 15 of offenses affecting the public health, safety, convenience, decency and morals, section 270. Public nuisance, section 271. Negligent act likely to spread infection of disease, dangerous to life, section 272. Negligent act likely to spread infection of disease dangerous to life, section 273. Disobedience to quarantine rules, section 274. Alteration of food or drink intended for sale, section 275. Sale of noxious food or drink, section 276. 276. Adulteration of drugs, section 277. Sale of adulterated drugs, section 278. Sale of drug as a different drug or preparation, section 279. Fouling water of public spring or reservoir, section 280. Making atmosphere noxious to health, section 281. Rash driving or riding on a public way, section 288. Rash navigation of vessel, section 283. Exhibition of false light, mark or buoy, section 284. Conveying person by water for hire in unsafe or overloaded vessel, section 285. Danger or obstruction in public way or line of navigation, section 286. Negligent conduct with respect to poisonous substance, section 287. Negligent conduct with respect to fire or combustible matter, section 288. Negligent conduct with respect to explosive substance, section 289. Negligent conduct with respect to machinery, section 290. Negligent conduct with respect to pulling down, repairing, or constructing buildings, etc., section 291. Negligent conduct with respect to animals, section 292. Punishment for public nuisance in cases not otherwise provided for, section 293. Continuance of nuisance after injunction to discontinue, section 294. Sale, etc., of obscene books, etc., sell, etc., of obscene books, etc., section 295. Sale, etc., of obscene objects to child, section 296. Obscene acts and songs, section 297. Keeping lottery office, section 298. Injuring or defiling place of worship with intent to insult religion of any class, section 299. Deliberate and malicious acts intended to outrage religious feelings of any class by insulting its religion or religious beliefs, Section 300, disturbing religious assembly. Section 301, trespassing on burial places, etc. etc. Section 302, uttering words, etc. with a deliberate intent to wound religious feelings of any person. Chapter 17 of offenses against property, subheading is of theft. Section 303, theft. 304, snatching. 305, theft in a dwelling house or means of transportation or place of worship, etc. Section 306, theft by clerk or servant of property in possession of master. Section 307, theft after preparation made for causing death, hurt, or restraint in order to committing of theft. Section 308, extortion. Section 309, robbery. Section 304, dacoity, 309, robbery. Section 3010, dacoity. Section 311, robbery or dacoity with dacoity with attempt to cause death or grievous hurt. Section 312, attempt to commit robbery or dacoity when armed with deadly weapon. Section 313, punishment for belonging to gang of robbers, etc. Section 314, dishonest misappropriation of property. Section 300, where is 314? Dishonest misappropriation of property, that was 314. What is 315? Dishonest misappropriation of property possessed by deceased person at the time of his death. Section 316, criminal breach of trust. Section 317, stolen property. Section 318, cheating. Section 319, cheating by personation. Section 320, dishonest or fraudulent removal or concealment of property to prevent distribution among creditors. Section 321, dishonesty or fraudulently preventing debt being available for creditors. Section 322, dishonest or fraudulent execution of deed of transfer containing false statement of consideration. Section 323, dishonest or fraudulent removal or concealment of property. Section 324, mischief. Section 325, mischief by killing or maiming by animal. Section 326, mischief by injury in inundation, fire, or explosive substance, etc. Section 327, mischief with intent to destroy or make unsafe a rail, aircraft, decked vessel, or one of 20 tons burden. Section 328, punishment for intentionally running vessel aground or ashore with intent to commit theft, etc. Section 329, criminal trespass and house trespass. Section 330, house trespass and house breaking. Section 331, punishment for house trespass or house breaking. Section 332, house trespass in order to commit offense. Section 333, house trespass after preparation for hurt, assault, or wrongful restraint. Section 334, dishonestly breaking open receptacle containing property. Section 335, that is in chapter 18, titled as of offenses relating to documents and to property marks. Section 335, making a false document. Section 336, forgery. Section 337, forgery of record of court or of public register, etc. Section 338, forgery of valuable security, will, etc. Section 339, having possession of document described in Section 337 or Section 338, knowing it to be forged and intending to use it as genuine. Section 340, forged document or electronic record and using it as genuine. Section 341, making or possessing counterfeit seal, etc. with intent to commit forgery, punishable under Section 338. Section 3, this was section 341. Next section is section 342. Counterfeiting device or mark used for authenticating documents described in section 338 or possessing counterfeit mark material. Section 343. Fraudulent cancellation, destruction, etc. of will, authority to adopt or valuable security. Section 334. Falsification of accounts. Section 345. Property mark. Section 346, tampering with property mark with intent to cause injury. Section 347, counterfeiting a property mark, section 348, making or possession of any instrument for counterfeiting a property mark, section 349, selling goods marked with a counterfeit property mark, section 350, making a false mark upon any receptacle containing goods, section 300. Next chapter, chapter 19, of criminal intimidation, insult, annoyance, defamation, etc. Section 351, criminal intimidation. Section 352, intentional insult with intent to provoke breach of peace. Section 353, statements conducing to public mischief. Section 354, act caused by inducing person to believe that he will be rendered an object of divine displeasure. Section 356, defamation. Section 357, section 357, breach of contract to attend on and supply wants of helpless person, section 358, repeal and savings, section 359. Okay, fine. Chapter 20 was repeal and saving, and last section was section 358, that was repeal and saving. So that's fine for today. I hope you also revised with me. You too revised with me. Have a good time.